In this video, we are looking into custom windows and inspectors. One of the Unity's most powerful feature is its extensible editor. That means we can extend the Unity editor according to our project need. You can also use the UI toolkit package or the IMG UI to create editor UIs such as custom windows and inspectors. To install the UI toolkit, open the package manager. Click on this plus sign and select add package from the git URL. And type com.unity.ui and press the add button. It will take a moment to install the package. Right now the UI toolkit is in the preview version. Click more to read the detail of the package. UI toolkit has a workflow similar to standard web development. Use its HTML and XML inspired markup language, UXML to define user interface and reusable UI templates. Then apply the Unity Style Sheets USS to modify the visual style and behavior of your UI. UI toolkit samples are available, so we installed the samples as well. Let's close the package manager. And next we are installing UI Builder. Open the package manager. Click on this plus sign and select add package from git URL. And here type com.unity.ui.builder and press add to install the package. We have installed both UI Toolkit and a UI Builder. The UI Builder lets you visually create and edit UI assets such as UI document and style sheets, and that we use with the UI Toolkit, and import all the samples of UI Builder. One more thing, just keep in mind that the UI Builder is just a visual tool for the UI Toolkit. It does not include any runtime support. To enable the runtime support in Unity 2020.1 and later install the UI Toolkit package. First, let's create a UI document. There are multiple ways of creating a UI document. Right click on the hierarchy view and go to UI Toolkit and select UI document. We have three options in the UI document: panel settings, source assets, and the sort order. Next, we will be creating a visual tree asset and we will assign it to the UI document source asset. As you see on the UI document, the source asset was empty. Select the folder, go to create, and in the UI toolkit, click on UI document. It will create a new UXML template and press enter and click on save and select the location to save the file. And now the UI Builder will open, or you can open by opening the UXML file. And this is how the UI Builder window looks like. Here we have all the controls and the library, and we will stick together everything in the hierarchy window. Now let's assign the new UXML template to the source asset. Drag and drop the file. Rearrange the UI Builder. And this is our canvas, and this is how the UI will look like. We can zoom in and out, or we can click on this fit canvas to fit the canvas. Now let's add the visual element. It's just empty. It will hold the other controls. When we hover the mouse over it, and it shows the area that is being selected. By default, the size is set to auto, but we can set it manually. I'm setting it 50%. And keeping the height is also at 50%. And the results are updating real time. And next I want to set the position, looking for the position option. And it's up somewhere. Here we have the position. I will be setting a 25% margin on each side. So I will be writing a 25% left, top, right, and bottom. By doing this, our visual element will be at center. In case if it didn't refresh, you can hover the mouse over it, or you can click on the visual element. Adding a new label into the visual element. And also adding a new button, making it a child of the visual element. When we hover the cursor over the elements, it shows and highlights that area. And next I'm thinking to align these controls at center. Select the visual element and from the alignment tab select center, and also the justify content at center. Select the button and go to the text tab and resize the button, and now select the label and resize it as well. Changing the label to bank 0 and the button label to the coin clicker. They are very close to each other. Let's add some padding by going to the margin and padding tab. I have selected the label and adding a padding at the bottom. And that's how the UI looks like using the UI builder. Exiting the maximize mode and enter the play mode, and this is how the UI looks like in the play mode. We can click this button. At the moment nothing has happened because we need to link with the code. Create a new script to link with the label and a button, entering a script name as clicker, and open the script. To save your time, I have already written the code. Let's paste that code. We are using a namespace UI elements. Next we have three variables, label, button and int. These will hold a label, a button and a bank count. We will be attaching this script to the game object which have the UI element, and in enable we will get that UI document, and then we will access those controls, label and button. And line number 12 we are getting the UI document. Get component UI document dot root visual elements, and we are storing it in the root visual element. And then from the root visual elements we are accessing the label and a button. Here the queue is representing basically as a query. We have to find the label and we are passing the name of the label. This label name should match with the label which we have created using the UI builder. And here we are registering a callback for a clicker button, and we are calling a method increment bank. And the increment bank is a simple method that increment the bank count and update the label. And now on pressing the coin clicker, it will increment the bank count. So this was a very basic of UI builder and UI toolkit, opening a sample UI that are made with the UI builder. It's a sample UI for the tank sandbox. Here in the game window and another UI, and here is one more sample. To try out the UI screens, you can drag and drop the files to the source asset. Let's focus on the custom inspector side. Creating a new folder, imgui test. Create a new C# script. Name it my player. Open the script. I have already written the base code. Get back to Unity and create a new game object. Name it as imgui_test. And attaching the script my player. And that's how the my player currently looks like. We need to create one more script. Create a new C# file and name it as my player editor. Open the script and replace the code that I have already written to save your time. We have created this my player editor to change the appearance of the script in the inspector. For the editor change, we are using a Unity editor namespace, and we are using a custom editor attribute for my player class, and we are using a can edit multiple objects attribute. It's not a MonoBehaviour class, it's derived from the editor. And we have the serialized property for damage, armor and gun. And in the enable class, we are finding the property of damage, armor and gun and assigning it to damage prop. We have defined this damage, armor, gun in the my player class, and we are using our own inspector GUI to update the inspector UI and the values we will change. At line 26, we are updating the serialized properties, like when we will change the graphics or change the bar, it will update it. At line 29, we are using an editor GUI layout.int slider and passing a few parameters like damage prop 0 and 100, and that will be the range of the slider, and actual GUI content damage. Basically, damage will be displayed on the bar. You can say it's a title or label. 32 is just a safety check. And at line 35, we have the same thing for the armor. And at 38, again the safety check. At line 41, it's not a slider, it's just a field property. And at 44, we are applying the changes, basically re-updating it. And the progress bar method is to customize the layout of the progress bar. We are passing a value and a label. Using GUI layout utility.getReact, we are setting the margins. Line 52, we are updating it, and at line 53, we are just adding a little bit space. Get back to Unity. Give the editor some time to refresh and update it, and click on IAM_GUI_test. And here we have our updated UI. So we are achieving this result with a combination of my player script and my player editor script. So by this, we have extended the Unity editor and making our changes in it. I would like to mention here that the UI toolkit is also formally known as the UI element. Here we have a sample project provided by Unity. It's a very good game to understand more about the UI toolkit and Unity custom inspector. You should download this project and explore more. Here is a quick look how this project is managed in a Unity. And look how nicely they have utilized inspector panel. And that was it for the custom windows and inspector. Look how nicely they have managed the assets for this project. These are very stunning animations and the assets are very optimized. I would recommend you should also learn the best practices from the existing projects. Take a look a bit at this level design and then we will be ending this video. From this level design, we can learn that we need to place only assets where the player have the viewpoint. So the developing the concept art is quite useful before developing the assets, and it gives you the overall idea how the final look and feel will be. I hope this video helps you. If you have any question, you can always ask me. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next.